What would you do if everything you worked for vanished in a single moment? Not slowly, not gradually, but instantly. Imagine standing on a shoreline, watching the waves swallow your future. Your savings, your plans, your security, gone beneath dark water. No warning could have saved you. No effort could have stopped it. Just nature reminding you who is really in control. Around 300 BC, a wealthy merchant experienced exactly that. His name was Zeno, later known to history as Zeno of Citium. On a trading voyage, his ship sank, taking his entire cargo with it. In a single stroke of fate, a prosperous businessman became a poor man. Most people would have collapsed under the weight of that loss. Anger would feel justified. Bitterness would feel natural. Despair would feel unavoidable. But instead of breaking, Zeno did something unexpected. He began to think. Rather than asking, "Why did this happen to me?" he asked, "What is within my control now?" That single shift in perspective would go on to influence emperors, slaves, political leaders, therapists, and millions of ordinary people across more than 2,000 years. From that loss emerged Stoicism, not a philosophy of cold indifference, but a philosophy of strength, clarity, and disciplined response. Many people today misunderstand Stoicism. They imagine a Stoic as someone emotionally frozen, detached from joy and sorrow alike. But that caricature misses the point entirely. Stoicism does not demand that you feel nothing. It teaches you not to be ruled by what you feel. The early Stoics believed that life will not obey your preferences. The world does not rearrange itself around your comfort. Storms will come. Illness will come. Rejection will come. Loss will come. The question is not whether hardship will appear. The question is how you will meet it. Zeno studied the works of earlier thinkers like Socrates and began teaching in public spaces, making philosophy accessible to everyone. His ideas were not reserved for elites hiding in marble courtyards. They were shared openly, and people from every background embraced them. One of the most influential Stoics was Epictetus, who had once been enslaved. Another was Seneca, a wealthy advisor and statesman. And perhaps most famously, Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor whose private reflections still guide readers today. Think about that range: a slave, a politician, an emperor, all guided by the same philosophy. Stoicism was revolutionary not just for its emotional discipline, but for its moral stance. It emphasized human unity. The Stoics even helped popularize the idea of being a citizen of the world, arguing that all people share the capacity for reason and virtue. At a time when social divisions were rigid and unforgiving, this was radical. They also challenged the exclusion of women from philosophical study. Teachers such as Musonius Rufus argued that virtue and reason are not limited by gender. In a world resistant to equality, Stoicism quietly insisted on it. But what makes this philosophy endure is not its historical boldness, it is its psychological accuracy. Most of our suffering does not come directly from events. It comes from our interpretation of them. We do not simply get upset because something bad happens. We get upset because we did not expect it, or because we believe it should not have happened. Rain is necessary for life. It nourishes crops and cools the earth. Yet when it falls on the day you forgot your umbrella, it feels like an injustice. The rain did not change. Your expectation did. Stoicism teaches a powerful exercise: expect difficulty. Not to become pessimistic, but to become prepared. If you accept that setbacks are part of life, their arrival feels less like betrayal and more like weather. Another Stoic practice is voluntary discomfort. It involves deliberately choosing mild hardship to strengthen resilience. Sleeping on a hard surface, taking cold showers, eating simple meals, limiting luxury. Why would anyone willingly do that? Because comfort can quietly make you fragile. When you prove to yourself that you can endure less, you reduce your fear of losing more. You stop clinging so tightly to external comforts. In today's world, this lesson feels urgent. Advertisements constantly whisper that happiness lies in the next purchase, the next upgrade, the next achievement. If you don't have more, you are told you are less. But Stoicism counters that narrative. It argues that tying your happiness to possessions places your peace in unstable hands. Cars break, markets fall, trends fade. Public opinion shifts overnight. If your identity depends on these things, your stability disappears whenever they do. Instead, Stoics anchor their well-being in character, in effort, in integrity, in choice. This leads to one of the most important principles in Stoicism, the dichotomy of control. Some things are up to you. Some things are not. Your actions are up to you. Your judgments are up to you. Your intentions are up to you. Outcomes are not. Other people's reactions are not. Random events are not. Consider a modern example. You create a project, perhaps a video, a business proposal, a piece of art. You invest time and energy into refining it. Up until the moment you release it, your effort is entirely within your control. But once it enters the world, its reception belongs to forces beyond you. Algorithms, market conditions, other people's moods, timing, luck. If you measure your worth solely by the outcome, you surrender your emotional stability to factors you cannot command. Stoicism suggests a different standard. Judge yourself by your effort and your alignment with your values, not by applause or rejection. Imagine someone working diligently for months, believing a promotion is guaranteed. When it doesn't happen, disappointment turns into self-doubt. But perhaps the company faced financial limits. Perhaps someone else had seniority. Perhaps unseen factors influenced the decision. If that person had grounded their sense of worth in the quality of their work rather than the external reward, the setback would sting less deeply. The goal could remain, but the identity would stay intact. Stoicism does not eliminate ambition. It refines it. You pursue excellence, but you detach from entitlement. At the heart of this philosophy are four core virtues: wisdom, courage, temperance, and justice. Wisdom is the ability to distinguish between what you control and what you do not. It is the clarity to pause between stimulus and response and choose thoughtfully. Courage means enduring hardship without surrendering your principles. It is persistence in what is right and resistance against what corrodes character. Temperance is moderation. It is the understanding that excess often weakens rather than strengthens. Enough is a powerful word. More is not always better. Justice is the recognition that we are interconnected, that harming others ultimately damages the whole to which we belong. A powerful modern example of Stoic resilience can be seen in Nelson Mandela. After spending 27 years in prison, he emerged not consumed by vengeance, but committed to reconciliation. Influenced by Stoic ideas, including the reflections of Marcus Aurelius, he chose nation-building over retaliation. He understood that the past was beyond control, but the response to it was not. Stoic principles have also influenced modern psychology. Therapeutic approaches that challenge irrational beliefs and emphasize meaning echo ancient Stoic insights. The idea that our interpretation of events shapes our emotional experience is now widely supported in clinical settings. But philosophy only matters if it is lived. You cannot simply read about resilience. You must practice it. You must catch your thoughts when they spiral. You must question whether your anger comes from injustice or from violated expectation. You must ask whether you are chasing something because it aligns with your values or because you crave validation. Stoicism invites a quiet revolution within. It asks you to shift your definition of success from, "Did I get what I wanted?" to "Did I act according to my principles?" It invites you to loosen your grip on outcomes and tighten your grip on character. And perhaps most importantly, it reminds you that everything ends, fortunes fade, careers conclude, reputations shift. Life itself is temporary. This realization is not meant to depress you. It is meant to clarify you. If everything is temporary, then what truly matters is how you conduct yourself while you are here. Zeno lost a ship and discovered a philosophy. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire and still wrote reminders to himself about humility and patience. Epictetus began life in chains and taught freedom of the mind. Their circumstances differed wildly. Their control did not. So the next time life feels unfair, when something slips through your fingers, pause. Ask yourself what remains within your power, because the storm will come. It always does. But here's the deeper question, the one worth sitting with. If everything you built disappeared tomorrow, would you still have built yourself?